public comments, I'd like to make a statement about Teapot if I could.
Sure.
Thanks.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the December meeting of the Trumbull Town Council. If we can have a moment of silence, and we'll follow that with a pledge of allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Sorry, having technical difficulties.
We hear you.
Okay. Mike Buswell. Mary Isaac.
Here,
Here. Did Mike Buswell say he was here?
Yes.
I'm here.
Thank you.
And
Mary
having
Isaac is here. Michael Cohen.
Here.
Bill Mecca.
Here.
Ann Sather.
Here.
Jennifer Winchell.
Here.
Veronica Lenzen. Richard Wolf. Jason Marsh.
Here.
Anthony Dorsey. Ashley Gaudiano.
Here.
Cara Massara.
Here.
John Foreman.
Here.
Joseph Pifko.
Here.
Scott Wick.
Here.
Joy Cologne.
Here.
Steve Lemoyne.
Here.
Kelly Malazzi.
Here.
Tony Cinto.
Here.
Kevin Shively.
Here.
And Nicole Satin.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We do have the quorum. Thank you. Before we go to public comment, I'll entertain a motion to approve our minutes from the November meeting. Is there a motion to approve them?
So moved, Ashley Gaudiano.
A second, please.
Second, Ann Sather.
Any discussion on those minutes? If not, can we approve them by unanimous consent? Is there any objection to the minutes?
No objection.
All right, thank you. They are approved by unanimous consent. Public comment is up. First Selectman Tesoro, you had some comments.
Thank you, Chairman Massaro. I appreciate that. I just wanted to make an announcement about Teapot, which is the Trumbull's Prevention Partnership. Last month or the month before, they came before you to talk about or apply for a grant, a youth cannabis prevention grant from the Catalyst Connecticut, the hub. So I just want to let everybody know some good news that Teapot actually received that grant, and Teapot is one of only 10 recipients in the state and 2 in our region to secure this funding. So over the next 2 years, Teapot will receive $57,000 to decrease youth cannabis use and increase our community's prevention capacity. The grant is funded by the Connecticut Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services with revenue from legal cannabis sales. So just wanted to share that information with you, and thank you for certainly letting them apply for that, approving that application. And I wanted to let everybody know the good news that they did receive that grant, and obviously only a few who applied for it received it, and we were one of them. So just wanted to share that news with everybody.
That's good news indeed. Thank you for that. Mr. Chin, can you help me with any other members of the public who would like to speak?
Yes, sir. If there's any members of the public that would like to speak, please press the raise hand button or press *9 if you're on the phone. We've got one person here.
All right, can I add? Go ahead.
Yep, it's S. Broderick. S. Broderick.
Good evening. My name is Steve Broderick. I'm a representative of the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 30. we have the privilege of representing the town of Trumbull Highway and Parks Department employees who joined our group this year. Our organization has over a 100-year history representing skilled trades throughout our jurisdiction, including many municipalities in Connecticut. We've developed professional labor management relationships at all of them, and we look forward to working with you all. As someone who travels throughout the state every day, I can say that Trumbull is a beautiful town and special. The public spaces and parks are exceptional, and I know that is a credit to your leadership. And I trust that all of you understand it's also due to the dedication and hard work of your town employees. Between the time of year with the holiday season and the fact that this is the first time I'm coming before the council, I'm going to be cautious and frame my public comments tonight with the respect that you deserve and diplomacy and professionalism. No unnecessary roughness, no hyperbole, no singling anyone out or naming names. And that being said, I'm not coming to you all with a quote unquote union or labor issue, but I'm coming to you with some concerns, and I'm ultimately looking for assistance as town leaders. The issues are
Mr.
about
Broderick, I don't mean to cut you off. Our rules for public comment limit comments to items that are on our agenda. I'm not sure there's anything regarding the Public Works Union, Employees Union on the agenda.
So you're saying in order to make public comments, we need to be added to the agenda?
No, you're allowed to speak to something that is on the agenda. If you can identify something that's on our agenda that you want to speak to, I would allow that. But if you're speaking generally about concerns or issues or your relationship with the union for our public highwaymen, it would not be appropriate this evening. Happy to bring you back another time. If
Yeah, I would just say that's a little different from the other towns. It sounds like I'm being precluded from making public comments, but I'll respect your process and look to be added to the agenda.
if you can get your contact information to me, I'm happy to discuss this further with you
I appreciate that.
another day. Okay, thank you, Mr. Broderick. I appreciate your
Thank
understanding.
you. Have a good holiday season.
Yes, you do the same. Thank you. Mr. Chin, did we have anyone else?
We'll give it another shot here. If there's anybody who would like to make public comment, please press the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen or *9 if you're on the phone. Mr. Chairman, it does not look like there are any additional further comments.
Okay, thank you then. I'll close public comment. I do have an announcement that Michael Colohan and Jason Marsh from the council will serve with me on the standing committee we have in town for tax planning. It's an tax incentive body. We serve along with some other department heads and the first selectman. Should any interested party who might qualify seek some tax relief with some development plan. So Michael Colohan and Jason Marsh, thank you both for volunteering. And that's the end of that announcement. So I believe now we can begin our resolutions. We'll start with TC 30.
Through the chair,
Yes.
Ashley Gadiano. I believe that none of the individuals being reappointed or appointed are here this evening. And so I'm actually wondering if we can take TC 30-107 out of order since Mr. Trapp is back for a second time this evening. And on the call already, I believe.
Sure, I have no problem with that. I'm sure the council will be fine. So let's take item 8 out of order.
Thank you. I'm happy to make that motion to move it out of order if we need that.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I'd move that we move TC 30-107 out of order and take that up now.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Jason, is that you?
Was, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Welcome back. How was your trip?
Didn't end up going, closed it from here, so.
Oh, good for you.
Thanks.
Okay, good. Well, good to have you here. All right, so the motion on the floor is to take the resolution 30-107 out of order. Can we approve that motion by unanimous consent? Any objections?
I
Here.
object.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I said that incorrectly. I have no problem taking it out of order.
okay, good. All right. All right, then we will now move that to the floor. Ms. Gaudiano, do you want to move that to the floor, please?
Certainly. Resolution TC 30-107, be it resolved that the Town of Trumbull value statement is hereby adopted. Full resolution attached.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second, Joy Cologne.
Thank you, Joy. So why don't we read the statement? No, I'm happy to do that. And in the resolution, it states the town of Trumbull is a vibrant community with a rich history and a bright future. We recognize and value diversity as an essential part of who we are. Trumbull is committed to ensuring all residents, students, employees, vendors, and visitors are treated with dignity and respect, fostering a safe and welcoming atmosphere. We believe the unique experiences, identities, and backgrounds of individuals enrich our community. Everyone in our town deserves fair and equal access to facilities, programs, resources, and services with respect and courtesy extended to all. A sustainable and equitable future is possible when we thoughtfully consider how our policies and decisions affect the environment, people, and the economy. And that is the core value statement embodied in this resolution. So I'll call for discussion.
I believe Mr. Trapp is here.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Trump, would you like to address this resolution, please?
Thank you, Mr. Massaro. Thank you to the council for hearing us tonight and as well for taking us out of order. I appreciate that courtesy. For those who don't know me, my name is Jonathan Trapp. I have the privilege of serving as the chair of the town's Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Task Force, which of course was appointed by the town council. One of the things that we on EDIT have sought to do is to prepare this value statement, and we recommend it to you. I will not take much time tonight to belabor the statement. I wanted to share just a couple of comments, and then to the extent that there are questions or concerns, I would be pleased to try to address them. From our perspective, the value statement serves the important purpose of formalizing the core beliefs of the town. It's not our intention to suggest that the town is not already living up to these values. To the contrary, I think it's fair to say that these are values of the town and that we as a town aspire to. The value statement is derived from various source documents, including some that already exist within the town of Trumbull, and is something that is well established in other towns like Trumbull, both those in Connecticut and outside, and that have pursued similar kinds of statements. We don't view it as a political statement. We don't view it as something that is intended to be controversial in any way, shape, or form. To some extent, it is baseball and apple pie. You might ask then, why do we need it? And I think that what I would say principally is that it says to the world who we value, what we value, I should say, and it says to ourselves what we value. And so it provides aspiration, and it is a reminder. It's a little bit like having a store and turning on the lights and saying welcome and creating an atmosphere that is welcoming. And I think that for the town of Trumbull to say to people who want to do business with us, to people who are considering moving here, this is who we are. this is what we think, and we welcome you, is an important step forward towards reaching the goals to which we all aspire. So I will stop there, and I'm happy to try to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Trop. I realize I was remiss in not calling for a committee report. This matter was taken up by the LNA committee. But since your remarks were made there as well, I don't think we need to recite those minutes. Is there anybody who has a question for Mr. Trop or would like to discuss the resolution? All right. I'm hearing
Mr.
no.
Chairman, excuse me, I think Councilman Wick.
I'm
had
sorry,
something
Mr.
to
Wick.
ask.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Trop, good evening.
Good evening.
First, thank you for volunteering with the town. Sometimes it can be a thankless effort, and so whenever we can have volunteers trying to improve the town, it's always worthwhile to say thank you to them. I did have a question for you, and this arises from the LNA committee minutes. You had made a comment, and I just wanted to ask you about it, that there are some neighbors who don't feel that, and it was with reference to the value statement and the vision statement. I would be gratified to know that the town is prepared to endorse the value statement. I was just wondering if you could share, if you have, anything further you could share, because that struck me, right? That our neighbors, our community members, people we live around, aren't feeling the values that Trumbull has. And among, more than anything else that struck me, and I was just wondering if you could elaborate on where, our neighbors aren't feeling or experiencing what Trumbull stands for.
I don't know that I could elaborate on it beyond that, which I stated at the committee meeting. I have heard from various sources and anecdotally that there are some of our neighbors who would appreciate the town from the top down and throughout, making clear that we are a welcoming place, and they do not always feel that it is so. There are people who have had experiences in our town that I don't mean to belabor, but that are of concern to them, and that I think most of us would prefer we could avoid. I don't mean to suggest that a value statement is going to solve that kind of a problem. I don't mean to suggest that that kind of a problem is a severe problem. I do mean to suggest that for those people who have those experiences, knowing that the town, speaking from the top through the town council, intends for them to feel welcome, is an important thing to do.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shively.
Thank you. Through the chair, if I may, just first of all say that, Mr. Trop, I want to thank you for your time and for the time of all the other members of the committee that have taken the time to deliberate so thoughtfully and to be able to present this opportunity for us to kind of restate what I think a lot of us seems pretty obvious in terms of what we would like to see. In terms of how we present ourselves and how we present our community to not only the rest of the state, but to the world. And as I read this statement, one of the things that really strikes me is how commonsensical it is. I mean, it just seems to me to be something that I can't imagine anybody taking offense to any of these statements, any of these things that we're trying to put forward. And it makes me proud to live in a town that would entertain presenting such a value statement to its community. And if there were anybody that had any reservations whatsoever of not supporting or reservations of supporting this resolution, I would only ask, again, through the chair, that they offer us some idea of what it is exactly in the statement that you object to, that you would not find true, or something that you would want to put forward as representative of our community, because it would be very helpful. Because I can't imagine, I can't find anything in here that could possibly be objectionable to anyone. So again, thank you very much for your time and for your careful and deliberation, and all the time that you guys have volunteered to serve our community.
Thank you, Mr. Shively. Is there any other question or comments? So I would, the only comment I have is that I think we are all quite fortunate and blessed to have found Trumbull, Connecticut, to come and live, raise our families, educate our children, work here, volunteer here, enjoy everything that our ancestors living here designed for us, thought out for us, and the experience in I'm speaking for myself, is one I'll be always grateful for. So with that, I'll ask our clerk to call a roll call vote, please.
Mike Buswell,
I vote yes. I mean, to Kevin Shively's comment, I mean, I think that I would hope that we're all born and raised to treat people how we want to be treated. So if everyone, if this would make everybody feel more comfortable, I'm totally fine with that. But I already follow these values. So, I mean, if we feel we need it in a statement, so be it. I say yes.
Mary Isaac,
Yes.
Michael Colohan,
Yes.
Bill Mecca,
Yes.
Ann Sather,
Yes.
Jennifer Winchell,
Yes.
thank you. Jason Marsh,
Yes.
did I skip over Richard Wolf?
He's absent.
Thank you. Ashley Gaudiano,
Yes.
Carl Massaro,
Yes.
John Foreman,
Yes.
Joe Pifko,
Yes.
Scott Wick,
Yes.
Joy Cologne,
Yes.
Steve Lemoyne,
No, we all already live by these rules.
Kelly Malazzi,
Yes.
Tony Sinto,
Yes.
Kevin Shively.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The resolution and the core value statement is adopted. Let's go back to our first item, resolution TC 30-100.
Through the chair,
Yes, Ms. Cologne.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who voted yes for that, as someone who's experienced so much good here in Trumbull, but also some other things. I thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bid you good evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chop. Ms. Cologne, would you like to bring TC 30-100 to the floor, please?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Oh, technology. And this, I'm ready, I promise. Okay. Resolution TC 30-100, be it resolved that Robert Gerber, being the same, is hereby appointed as a member of the Hillcrest Middle School Building Committee.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second, Ashley Gaudiano.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Mr. Foreman, can you give us the committee report, please?
Certainly. Moved by Wolf and seconded by Lenzen to amend the spelling of the appointee's last name to read as Gerbert, Gerbert. Vote motion carried by unanimous consent. Robert Gerbert of 64 Mount Pleasant was present and indicated he has been a resident of Trumbull for 11 years. He has 2 children at Frenchtown Elementary School. He has 20 years experience in engineering and project management since graduating college. He worked in the city of Stamford and in Newtown in their public schools facilities director. He knows the Hillcrest project is expensive and it's near and dear to many people's hearts in Trumbull because they voted for it. This is the first step to what hopefully will be more improvements to public schools. It is one of the reasons he moved here from Stamford and will contribute what he can to bring that project to life. Vote motion carried as amended by unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Foreman. Chair will note the friendly amendment to the resolution to correct Mr. Gerbert's last name to include the T, Gerbert. Can we approve that friendly amendment by unanimous consent? Is there any objection? Okay, hearing none. The amendment is adopted. His name is corrected. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Can we adopt this resolution as amended by unanimous consent? Is there any objection?
No objection.
Thank you. The resolution is adopted. We'll move to item 2, resolution TC 30-101. Ms. Sather, can you move this to the floor, please?
Sure. Resolution TC 30-101. Be it resolved that the reappointment by the First Selectman of Joseph Gaudiano as a member of the Golf Course Commission for a term extending to the first Monday of December 2027, be and the same is hereby approved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second, Kelly Malazzi.
What happened to Ashley?
I was making sure Kelly had a moment to shine with her seconds.
Yeah, I thought this one might be close to you.
Church and state, Carl. Separation of church and state.
Okay, there we go. Mr. Foreman, can you read the committee report, please?
Certainly. Joe Gaudiano of 56 Frederick Street was present and indicated he had been a member of the commission since 2018. And since that time, they have had record-setting years. The commission has invested $2.2 million in new equipment and continues with their 10-year capital investment plan that they just implemented. Vote motion carried as amended by unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Foreman. Nothing like a good chairman. Get that revenue flowing in there. It's great. Any discussion or questions, comments on this resolution? If not, I'll call for a vote. Can we adopt this by unanimous consent? Any objections? All right, thank you. Resolution TC 101 is adopted. We'll move to item 3, resolution TC 30-102. Ms. Winchell, can you move this to the floor, please?
Yes, I can. 102. Resolution TC 30-102. Be it resolved that the reappointment by the First Selectman of Michelle Dowling as a member of the Golf Course Commission for a term extending to the first Monday of December 2027 be and the same and is hereby approved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second, Ann Sather.
Thank you, Ms. Sather. Mr. Foreman, can we have the committee report, please?
Certainly. Michelle Dowling of 26 Scattergood Circle was present and indicated she had been a resident for 34 years and has been on the commission for 5 years. She has experience and is willing to continue. Vote motion carried as amended by unanimous consent.
Thank you very much. Any questions, comments, discussion? Hearing none, can we call this for a vote? Can we adopt this resolution by unanimous consent? Is there any objection? Hearing none, The resolution is adopted by unanimous consent. We will move on to item 4, resolution TC 30-103. Mr. Lemoyne, can you bring this to the floor, please? There, Mr. Lemoyne? We have an audio problem. So let's see. How about Mr. Mecca? Can you bring this to the floor, please? Item 4.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Resolution TC 30-103. Be it resolved that the reappointment by the First Selectman of Nathan Moyer as a member of the Golf Course Commission for a term extending to the first Monday of December 2027 be and the same is hereby approved.
Second, Kelly Malazzi.
Thank you. Mr. Foreman, committee report, please.
Certainly. Nathan Moyer of 5 Butternut Lane was present and indicated he had been on the commission for a couple of years and has been vice chairman for the past 2 years. It is a great commission and a great group of individuals who really want to make Cashua Knolls the best in the state. That is their goal. Vote motion carried as amended by unanimous consent.
Thank you very much. Any questions, comments on this resolution? Now I'll call for Mr. Hendrickson. Okay, thank you. Nobody has a question or a comment? So I will call for a vote. Can we adopt this resolution by unanimous consent? Is there any objection? That is adopted by unanimous consent. We'll move to item 5, resolution TC 30-104. Ms. Malazzi, can you move this to the floor, please?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. Resolution TC 30-104, be it resolved that $17,509 is hereby appropriated from the general fund to 01060000567703, transportation expense, non-public schools, BOE 009 account, fiscal year 2023-2024.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second, Ann Sather.
Thank you, Ms. Sather. Need a committee report here. I believe this was on the R&R committee. So Mr. Foreman, you're up again, please. For the report.
Certainly. The chair noted BOE representatives were not present at this meeting. It was agreed that there were questions and it was suggested to pass this to the full council without recommendation. Moved by Lenzen, seconded by Malozzi to pass without recommendation. Vote motion carried as amended by unanimous consent.
Thank you. Do we have somebody to speak to this resolution this evening? Anybody from the Board of Ed?
I can speak to it, Chairman Massaro, if anybody has any questions about it.
Mr. Hendrickson?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a hybrid town Board of Education account. The expenses primarily in this $1.2 million account are for non-public teachers and non-public transportation.
Mr. Henderson, excuse me.
Yes.
Do you have a second audio open, like a phone or another laptop? We're getting a lot of echo.
I feel like we're in Pride of the Yankees. Now batting.
He's also listed as an attendee, so he must.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Close one of those. That would be helpful. Or just turn the audio down on the second device.
Unfortunately, I'm doing this from home. This is a hybrid account. What? Can't.
Sound better.
I don't know what to do though.
If there's a second device, which appears you're on, there's somebody else logged in as Paul Hendrickson. Move away from that device or turn the volume down on that device.
I don't have a second device.
Alrighty.
Bill, as an admin, do you have the ability to remove a participant or an attendee? Because you could get rid of the attendee potentially.
Yeah, I'll give it a whirl. Okay, let's go for it.
Is that better, Bill?
Much better.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yes, this is a hybrid account, and Board of Ed manages the expenses, but the revenue is furnished by the town. We provide a list or an estimate of the expenses for the budget year in February. This has nothing to do with our general operating fund, and this is in a partnership with the town exclusively. The primary components, as I said, are the transportation to the non-public schools in town and the fuel associated with those buses. Unfortunately, the expenses ran higher than what we anticipated, and so we are requesting a supplemental appropriation of slightly less than $18,000.
And this is for the fiscal year that ended June 30 of this year. Is that correct?
It's for last year, the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024.
Right. Okay, it's kind of a late reconciliation. It's 6 months later. All I would know. Does anybody else have any questions for Mr. Hendrickson?
I do.
Thank you, Ms. Blasey. Go ahead.
I think that on the committee, we really just wanted to get some clarification about why people pay for buses for private schools and whether that's like a state law, or we just wanted to get a little clarification on what this was and why, I think.
I would have to get back to you with the rationale about that. It's been that way in the 4 years that I've been here and was prior to my coming. And I don't know if there is any state law that has covered that. I've been in 2 other districts and we did not provide non-public transportation.
Through the chair.
Ms. Cologne.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a state law, but it is a general practice in the state of Connecticut that public schools provide that transportation. And the reasoning is that the student isn't participating in the school experience, and that would be that participation amount or to an extent.
Thank you. Any other question, comment on this resolution?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Isaac.
Yes, I wasn't sure if Maria or Paul, if you'd been able to look into, I believe Paul was going to look into it, if the routes had changed. So what the discrepancy was, since it was over 100,000 spent, but the amount that was short ended up, with the transfer about 50,000-ish. So were new routes added? What happened there?
Well, the total amount spent on the buses was about 1.2 million. And it's a combination of bus rental plus gas. And the bus rental was covered by balances in another account while the overrun in gas is covered by the request for a supplemental appropriation. I can go back and ask and see if the routes have changed and get that answer for you.
Yeah, I mean, what's done is done, of course. I mean, we have
Yes.
to cover it, but it's for the next budget season to see, what was underestimated. And the price of gas had been locked in.
Yes,
so-
yes.
Okay.
We're working on that now, and we'll probably have that to Maria in either January or at the latest February.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Ms. Isaac. Anybody else with a question
Yeah,
or comment?
Carl, it's Tony. He's got a question.
Tony's
Don't
back.
don't we get reimbursed from the schools for the buses? From the private schools, sorry. Or don't they have to pay us something for that?
Not to my knowledge.
I was under the assumption that they did pay something, but that might have been a long time ago when it changed.
Okay.
This is Maria Pyrus. We do receive a grant from the state, a small grant from the state. I don't have the dollar amount from me right now, but we do get a small grant from the state.
Is that part of the 1.2 million that's in the account? The grant monies?
No, it's separate. It's on the town side.
Carl, I have a quick question.
Revenue side. Maria,
I'm sorry?
is that on the revenue side, the grant?
Yes, it is on the revenue side, similar to the ECS and the special ed.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Who had a question?
I,
Somebody?
I do, and say there.
Mhm.
This is for the non-public
Yes.
schools? So who,
Yes.
do we, that's it's for the residents in town going to the non-public schools in town?
Correct.
Or,
Yes. Correct.
so that's like St. Teresa's, St. Catherine's,
Right.
I'm drawing a blank on the other ones, St. Joe's,
Yes.
not like Christian Heritage, I know has their own buses. I don't know if we do that. So it's those 3 schools?
At least those. Well, I don't have the list in front of me, but it would be those 3.
Because it's not like the magnet schools
No.
that are this is the non-public schools. Okay.
Correct.
And the grant is for Maria, if you could, the grant is for the non-public schools or for like the magnet schools? You muted yourself.
That would be for the non-public schools.
Thanks. Sorry.
Great. Anything further from anyone? If not, I will call for a vote then on resolution TC 30-104. Can we approve this by unanimous consent? Is there any objection? Hearing none, the resolution is adopted by unanimous consent. Thank you, Mr. Hendrickson. Happy holidays. We'll move on
Thank
to
you.
items. We'll move on to
Happy
item
holidays.
6, resolution TC 30-105. Let's see. Mr. Shively, can you bring this to the floor, please?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. Resolution TC 30-105, be it resolved that blank is hereby approved as construction manager for the Trumbull Veterans and First Responders Center project, as recommended by the Trumbull Veterans and First Responders Center Building Committee.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second, Ashley Gadiano.
Thank you. Committee report, please, from Mr. Pifko.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Moved by Ledson, seconded by Marsh to amend the resolution by inserting down to construction. Vote motion carried unanimously. Attorney Shopik explained the town council approved $150,000 ARP funds to fund the construction manager for the Veterans Center Building Committee. Building Committee at its meeting last night interviewed the bidders one of which was Downs Construction. They voted unanimously to recommend that Downs Construction as the construction manager. Downs came in within the $150,000 allocated amount of the contract and will not exceed that number. Downs Construction reviewed with the committee how they were going to provide regular supervision, inspections, and reports to the building committee. The committee could utilize that information going forward with the project. Downs has a good reputation with the town. They did work for the police station, and Chief Lombardo has said that he had a very good experience with them. They also had done work at Long Hill Fire Station. They're familiar with the town. It was noted that the emergency legislation is needed due to the December 31st ARPA deadline to have contracts. Motion was carried unanimous.
Thank you, Mr. Pifko. Is there a motion to insert Downs Construction in the blank resolution as the approved construction manager?
So moved.
Thank
Ashley.
you. Thank you, Ms. Goniano. Is there a second?
Jason Marsh.
Thank you, Jason. Any discussion on that motion to amend? Hearing none, can we adopt that motion by unanimous consent? Is there any objection? Okay, hearing none, the motion is adopted or passed. Is there anybody to speak to this resolution? All right, I will. So I understand that there were 2 bids put out for this job, and Downs, as the committee report indicated, was the low bidder and also a low qualified bidder. I don't have really anything else to add to that. Does anybody from the Veterans Center committee want to speak to that? I think Mr. Shively or Mr. Lemoyne.
No, not really. I mean, other than the fact that we didn't get, I mean, we had a few bids, but I mean, it came in at the rate. So, I mean, at what we had budgeted, but other than that, there really wasn't much other discussion to be had.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you for that. So we have the resolution as adopted to approve Downs Construction as the construction manager for the Vet Center project. Any further discussion, question, or comment? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Can we adopt this resolution as amended by unanimous consent? Is there any objection? Hearing none, the resolution as amended is adopted. We will move to item 7.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, it's Dan Shopik.
Yeah,
We
I'm
need
sorry. We need emergency legislation. Yes, we do. Is there a motion to make
So moved.
CC 130-105 emergency legislation by Mr. Shively? Thank you. Do we have a second?
Thank you.
Second, Bill Mecca.
Thank you. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, can we approve that by unanimous consent? Is there any objection to making this emergency legislation? All right, the resolution or the motion to make an emergency legislation is adopted. Now we'll move to resolution TC 30-106. Mr. Wick, would you move this one to the floor, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution TC 30-106. Be it resolved that the town attorney is hereby authorized to settle a workers' compensation claim known as James R. Leo versus the town of Trumbull.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second, Kelly Malazzi.
Thank you. Mr. Pifko, committee report, please.
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. Moved by Levson, seconded by Pifko to enter executive session to discuss the settlement of impending litigation. Vote motion carried unanimously. The LNA committee entered executive session at 7:35 to discuss the settlement of pending litigation with the following: myself, the chair, Mike Buswell, vice chair, Veronica Levson, Jason Marsh, Ashley Gardiano, Nikki Staton, Chief Administrative Officer Katsky, Town Attorney Daniel Chopik, Director of Human Resources Thomas McCarthy, and Attorney Michael Bunapane Malf. Moved by Buswell, seconded by Pifko to end the executive session at 8:06. Vote motion carried unanimous.
Thank you, Mr. Pifko. This is a litigation matter, and discussion on it will require executive session. Attorney Bonapane is with us, as is Mr. McCarthy. And Attorney
And to
Chopik.
Ralph Archer, who is our representative from Kerma, who handles our workers' compensation claims.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Archer. Thank you, Mr. McCarthy.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yeah, just to remind, two things. Number one, if we do want to talk about anything that is specific in nature, we have to go to executive session. And number two, that we will be asking for emergency legislation if this gets approved tonight, because we have a time frame we're trying to beat in terms of a settlement meeting.
All right, let me ask the council then, do you wish to discuss this matter further? It was taken up in executive session at the committee level. Do council members want to hear further on this matter? If so, please make the motion to go into executive session. Don't see any hands.
I make a motion, Carl.
All right, Mr. Cinto, you're moving to go into executive session. Is there a second?
Yes.
Second, Ann Sather.
All right, thank you. In executive session, we will have First Selectman and her staff, Town Attorney, Mr. Chopik, Attorney Bonapane, Mr. McCarthy, Mr. Archer. Is there anybody else we need in executive session?
Maria Pyrus.
Maria Pyrus, yes. All right, Mr. Chin, have you sent us a new link?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have. I didn't hear Mr. McCarthy's name listed.
I did mention it. He's coming in, yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Bill Chin, always looking out for me.
I try. So everybody should have that email in their inbox, be able to join that meeting.
All right, so let's just recess from this general meeting and we'll go into.
Mr. Chairman, I don't think we had a vote on the motion to go into executive session.
I'm sorry, thank you. Can we approve the motion to go into executive session by unanimous consent? Is there any objection? All right, the motion is approved, and so we will adjourn. And please enter the new meeting.
Carl, you just have to leave the meeting.
Oh, we have to leave it all together?
Yeah, and then you'll come back. Bill Chin, I still see quite a few council members listed as panelists.
Hang on, I'm doing three things right now. I'm on the phone with Tom. I'm trying to fix this executive session thing.
Okay.
Everybody in this meeting needs to leave and exit and join
Okay.
the other one.
I'll tell him. I'll tell him.
Are we in the wrong meeting? Is that,
Yeah, you're in the wrong meeting. You have to leave this meeting and then find your invitation.
oh,
That Bill,
you're making my life difficult. There we go.
there you go. That would be the same for Jennifer and Mike. Mr. Archer, you're still in the first meeting. You need to leave this meeting and find your invitation at the top of your email that Bill Chen sent this evening for the executive session.
All right, Tom, I have to send a new link.
Okay.
Cindy, are we in the wrong meeting? Are we?
Well, my,
I have to send a new link.
Yeah.
When I send an expired link.
thank you, Bill.
Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you guys can leave and then go find the new link that he
Go
sent.
find a link. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but the link he sent
I'm
wasn't
working on
good.
it. I'm working on it.
I
It's
know,
coming.
I know. I'm just explaining to Margaret why I came back.
I saw it. I figured it out when Bill told me he has to send a new link.
Okay. And hello, by the way.
Hello.
And Tom McCarthy is here too, and he's got to get the new link too.
Yeah, everybody is getting the new link.
Okay. Terrific. See ya.
See ya. Have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're fast, Jason. Right.
It was easier than the last transition.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't copy the new link into that template email.
You're still a magician in my mind.
Sleight of hand.
Let's see. Margaret, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
I have some information for you. Joy Cologne moved to get out of executive session. Ashley seconded at 9:04. And it was unanimous.
Thank you.
That's why you don't have to ask me tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. We get everybody back we need. I think we're all back. So, Mr. Chin, you ready to record us?
Oh, we have continued recording.
Oh, great. All right, well, we're back. Back on the regular session of our meeting. We're going to vote on resolution TC 30-106. Is there any further question or comment on that resolution? All right, hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Can we adopt resolution TC 30-106 by unanimous consent? Is there any objection? Hearing none, the resolution is adopted. Is there a motion to make this emergency legislation?
So moved, Ashley Gadiano.
Second, Joy Cologne.
Thank you. Can we adopt this motion by unanimous consent? Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is passed. This resolution TC 30-106 is unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We've reached the end of our agenda. I would like to first thank everybody for meeting this evening. Please accept our apologies. Maria, did you have something to say?
I do. I misspoke on the Board of Ed on the non-public school grant for public transportation, non-public transportation. There was a grant back in 2016, but we have not had a grant since then. So I misspoke. I apologize.
All right. We'll get you back working on a grant for the future. So as I was saying, I thank everybody for coming tonight. It's a difficult time of year. We apologize for the notice snafu that caused this delay. And I want to wish everybody happy holidays. And in doing so, I want to let you tell you just a short story. Not long ago, I was found myself in the Bavarian woods of Germany, singing along with an Oompa band to Silent Night. In the handout that was given to us with the words and the verses, something else was written on it, and I would like to share that with everyone. I'll read it now. It says, no matter where you come from, no matter where you live, no matter what you believe in, no matter the color of your skin, no matter of all of our differences, we all have the same beating heart, open it, and let all the wonderful things happen. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
And
So
to you.
that sentiment is not just in Trumbull, it's all around the world. So I wish everybody a great holiday season, and see you next year.
Carl, I'm sorry if I could just, I just want to, again, echo your sentiments, wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, whatever holiday you celebrate. And I also want to thank Margaret for all the hard work she's always done for this, for the town council. I just want her to know that. So thank you all. Wonderful holidays.
Thank you, Vicky. You too.
you.
We couldn't do it without Margaret.
No, we could not.
Thank you, Margaret.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Holidays
Bye.
are-
Margaret, you get that raise, Margaret.
Oh, good. I get to stay.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Night.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Ooh, motion to adjourn?
Second.
I know there's no objection there.